Page 5 now, the misguided intermingling of church and state. The Catholic Church is making a huge mistake that could have far-reaching consequences. In essence, the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops is forcing Americans who are Catholic to make a choice. Faith or country. It's a false choice that is unfortunately politically motivated by partisan leftist members of the church who happen to be in positions of leadership. The bishops are opposing the Trump administration's enforcement of immigration law. And they are suggesting that if we as a country reject any claim for asylum, that we are somehow violating a right to life.
At its core, asylum is an instrument to preserve the right to life.
Thomas Wensky is the Archbishop of Miami. He says the church should urge Catholics to vote for candidates who want fair and humane immigration reform.
Joining me now on the Daily Ledger, page 5, the founder of the American Truth Project and Daily Ledger contributor, Barry Nussbaum. This is despicable. They're creating a choice here between faith and between country. It's a false choice, but this is inherently a political choice.
I'm rather surprised, Graham, that the church is crossing the line from religious interpretation into politics. And were they to do that, my question would be on a moral and ethical interpretation of what they're trying to do. Why aren't we caring for our 500,000 homeless, our 40,000 veterans that are living on the street every night, 200,000 people in this country that don't know where their next meal is coming from? If we want to care more about people that need our help, can we please care first about Americans that need our help? My question is, if we open our borders to the problems of the world, do we take the border down altogether? Is that what they're asking us to do as Americans?
Seems like it. And demanding that Trump officials not enforce the law or not enforce policy is immoral in and of itself. And as we always say on the golf course, reverse the bet, right? So if the federal government suddenly came to me and said, hey, I want you to commit adultery or denounce the Lord, or you're going to lose your citizenship. This is essentially what the church is saying. It's horrible.
It's a devil's choice for politicians that consider themselves observant Catholics. Are they going to uphold the law, or are they going to get in line with the church? I don't think that's a fair test for religious Catholics who happen to be good Americans. It's one or the other.
Right.
That is not fair for them as loyal public servants who are literally interpreting the law literally and yet could be held in contempt in their own church or even excommunicated by the church.
It's unbelievable.
Wow, this is getting in some really, really bad territory.
But Barry, speaking of territory, let's talk facts here that the bishops clearly are choosing to overlook. And that is a report out just recently proved that most of these so-called asylum seekers didn't qualify for asylum because they were trying to simply abuse our systems. And taking babies away from mothers and fathers, I would step it back just a little bit, and I would ask the bishops, which is more immoral? Doing that and giving them a safe place to live, or bringing your baby across a border on a very, very dangerous trek? That seems to me that part is immoral.
The clear incentive is for people in South and Central America to come north because they're being actively promoted to do so, Graham. If the word got out, don't come, you all get turned away, everybody gets sent back that is not following the law, it would stop. But quite clearly, there are activists saying, come north, you're going to put the government in a bad position, they're going to have to take you, and they're going to feed you, clothe you, and educate you instead of Americans who, as I said earlier, are already in great need of our help. I wonder why this choice is being made for foreigners who aren't Americans instead of Americans, including our veterans that deserve our help.
I'll tell you why it's being made, because unfortunately, I'm speaking as a practicing Catholic, The Catholic Church in this country has become the de facto arm of the Democrat Party, the radical Democrat Party. And it's a shame because they're trying to destroy the hand that feeds it. Where would the Catholic Church be today without the generosity of this very country that they're trying to destroy? It's unbelievable. Barry, thanks.